Hey everybody, Mr. Frechette, coming back at you. It's been a couple days, since we've had class, and I know a lot has changed since then, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're all here, and the most important thing is we're safe, and we're doing the right thing to get us back in the classroom. So make the most of this. It's a very good thing that we have the technology to do this, and have fun with it. Be positive, because everything will get better, and we'll be back in the classroom, we'll be back with our friends, and we'll be back in PE, and doing sports and all that fun stuff that we're used to. I want to say that too. Guys, be safe. Still do the things that you're expected to do. At the same time, have fun doing them. Get outside and play if you have that opportunity. Hang out with your family and friends. Probably more so your family. You want to kind of try to keep your distance to a degree with a lot of people at this time, but still kind of carry on with those normal things. Make sure you have a schedule. Mix in everything. Even the academics. Like, we're going to talk about area of triangles here in a minute. So I want you guys all to be safe. I want you to be well, and I hope we're back in the classroom real soon. So without further ado, I'll be on Google Classroom with Mrs. Dombrowski and Mrs. McKeechik. And right now, Mrs. Dombrowski and Mrs. McKeechik, they're talking about volume and area. And I kind of want to start out with just something simple. We'll just talk about area of a triangle. Before we get into volume and, the third degree portion of mathematics. We're going to be looking at volume and surface area, but I want to start out really simple with just, area of a triangle. If we ever get an opportunity to take, the Math 8 assessment, what you'll find is you'll have a formula sheet on that test. And if you look at the formula sheet, the formula for area of a triangle is, and I'm sure you guys all know, it's very similar to the area of a rectangle, except, it's kind of cut in half. So if you look here, you see this is the formula sheet that you'll get to use if we get a chance to take the test, which I hope we do, and all it says is area is a half of the base times the height. And that's all that it is, because if you look at a triangle is half of a rectangle. That's all that it really is. There's no funny business with that, so that's what it is. So we're going to take a look at just a couple of these problems I want to show you, and then hopefully that'll give you guys the opportunity to do some practice as well. So let me move some of this stuff around. Like we said before, area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 base times height. We always start with our formula. So that's our formula for this. We're going to take a quick look at number one. If you see different things, you can label the parts, right? So if you look at this, we don't have an area, right? We're looking for the area. So the area right here is a question mark. We don't know what the area is, so it is a question mark. But we do know what the base is. And the base is right here. So that's my base, right? The base of the object, the base of the triangle, kind of where everything begins. Like if you look at us, our base would be at our feet. That's the base of us as humans. If we look at our height here, the heights are different in triangles, but this is our height here. Don't confuse that with over here. This is not a height. That is not a height as well. So you got to be careful going through. And we'll look at that in the second one. The height's a little bit different. So without further ado, we just use our formula, right? Area equals 1/2, and it's multiplied, right? Because we have 1/2 next to B and H. Whenever we have that, you see those little dots, that little glue, or that tape that kind of puts everything together. All that is it means multiplication. So we have 1/2 times 4.5, and times 8. And it looks like our units are in miles, but we'll talk about putting the units on at the end. So we're going to go down, and I should be posting, if you guys don't have a calculator, I should be posting I should be posting an app for you guys to use that, so you guys have something similar to a TI-30 XS, if that's what it is. So I'm going to turn it on, and I always use my calculator. So I'm going to put in a half. So I'm going to go here to my fraction key first. I'm going to put in 1, and I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to put in 2. I'm going to scroll over, and I'm going to put in my parentheses. I'm going to go 4.5, close my parentheses, put another parenthesis because that also means multiplication. And I'm going to go 8. I'm going to close the parenthesis. And in the end, it looks like I have 18. So my area, when I'm done and I move my calculator aside, is 18 square miles. So it's miles squared, because we're dealing with the second dimension here. So this is not a single dimension like perimeter would be. Perimeter would be just like miles or inches or centimeters or whatever it is. This just happens to be square miles. Okay, so very simple calculation. So when we go over to this one over here, I'm gonna scroll over just a little bit, just so you guys can see. This is a little bit different. So you have your height on the outside. I had to draw the height down. So if you look here, this is not a height, and this is not an actual height of the triangle itself. This is obviously an obtuse triangle. You still have the same formula, 1/2 base times height. The only difference I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that we do not have a length anymore, or a height. So we're going to take that height out. And what I want to do is, because I want to throw in some algebra. And I'm going to say that our area is equal to, let's say, 20 kilometers squared, because that's what our unit's at. So now that we have this, you're like, oh, Mr. Frechette, what are you doing? You're scrambling things up. Why are you doing this? Well, I want to take it to another level, because you're going to be algebra students. You're going to be in there next year. We're doing algebra this year. So all we're going to do is just put everything in. A actually stands for area. B is for base. H is for height. So we have our base here, right? I took away our height. So we don't have our height. So we obviously know that now is an X, or it stays as H, right? Because that's what it is here. So we'll keep it as that. So we have our area. Our area is 20 equals 1/2 times the base, which is 5, and then we need to find our H. So, obviously what we have to do first is we have multiplication here. So what's half of 5? Half of 5 is 2.5. So we're going to put 2.5H here equals 20. And remember, we have multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Because we need to get the H by itself. Yep, you said it. You know that it's division. So we're going to divide both sides by 2.5. And when we do that, we cross out our 2.5s. And our height, let's put our calculator in here. Our height is going to be, let's see what we got here. We have 20 divided by 2.5, and that equals 8. So the height would be 8 kilometers. Now, you're not dealing with kilometers squared, because this is a single dimension, or the first dimension. Unlike our area, so, the height is just 8 kilometers. Once we put 8 kilometers and we multiply that by the base, which is 5, and we take half of that to get 20, now it becomes an area, or a measurement in the second dimension. So that's why it's kilometers squared. So in this situation, a little bit of algebra, but we found out that our height is 8 kilometers. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you a couple of these other problems. And these are not as difficult as you think. So we'll bring these over here. I'll move the calculator. When you get a chance, you're doing some other stuff for Mrs. McKeechik and Mrs. Dombrowski. But if you get a chance, to do some, just a little more practice, it won't take you long. You saw how we did it. It didn't take long at all. So, take a look at these problems and work through them. And you have all the information above to help you. I'll be tuning back in with you here soon. Where we'll be doing some more. We'll be doing some more area. I'll talk about some surface area and, volume as well. So, and different shapes as well. You're going to be looking at general prisms, rectangular prisms, cones, a whole bunch of different things other than just the basic triangle. So, everybody have a great night. Take care. And Mr. Frechette will be talking to you soon. All right. Bye.